What's happening around the world? It's time for another serving of News Bites.
最近国际上发生了哪些大事？午餐搭配 ICRT News Bites， 慢慢的一口接一口吸收最新时事趣闻。
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of News Bites. I'm Nancy Sun.
And I'm Trevor Tortomasi.
In today's news, the farthest flying bees,
the oldest wind instrument,
and a reunion for friends.
All that and more coming up next.
Top of Taiwan.
华航空运蜜蜂由南半球至北半球上空去。Airline transports tiniest passengers ever.
Airlines nowadays don't get a lot of passengers, 乘客, because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
But one Taiwan airline recently was very busy flying for some very special passengers. A batch of bees.
The thousands of bees were put into a big box in Sydney, Australia. Then, China Airlines A350-900 took the box and flew from Sydney to Taipei.
The bees were then moved to another A350 and flew on to Vancouver, British Columbia.
The airline says they had to get special permission from the Government of Canada to move the live animals. And they said the most important part of the journey was temperature control.
The airline had to keep the temperature on the flight between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. This cool temperature helps keep the bees calm and resting.
Why were they making this big journey?
The bees have a special job once they get to Canada. The government there wants the bees to help pollinate 授粉, fruit trees.
Bees are a very important part of the environment. They help plants grow.
But bees around the world are dying because there are less and less wild places for them to live and find food. And pesticides, 农药, used by people also kill bees.
So many people and countries are trying to find ways to help bees and help the environment. And the batches of bees going to Canada will help the plants there grow.
Vancouver International Airport posted on social media about the news.
They called the trip unbelievable.
这些蜜蜂从南半球澳洲雪梨飞到北半球的加拿大温哥华，帮助加拿大哥伦比亚省各处果园授粉，完成他们重要的任务。
Going global.
法国博物馆公布人类文明史上最古老的乐器。
Do you play a musical instrument? 乐器。
Some people play the piano. Some people play the drums. Or you might have tried out a triangle at school.
People have been making music with instruments for a long time. But instruments back then looked very different.
Scientists have found what they think is the oldest wind instrument, 管乐器, in the world. The instrument is made of a conch shell, 海螺壳.
It was found in 1931 in a mountain cave in France. But at the time, scientists didn't really look too closely at it.
But recently, researchers noticed that the conch shell is actually a musical instrument. They saw that a hole was made at the other end of the shell, which looks like a place for a person to blow.
And they also noticed that there was red coloring put onto the shell as decoration, 装饰.
So they asked a musician to try to play the conch shell. Here's what it sounds like.
The scientists also figured out that the shell is about 18,000 years old. This makes it the oldest wind instrument of its type in the world.
But they think people at that time might not have used the shell as a musical instrument.
They believe the shell might have helped those ancient people communicate, maybe with people far away.
So now, the scientists want to find out how far away the sound from the shell can travel.
这个可能有18000年历史的海螺是一种吹奏型乐器，很有可能是一种交流工具，并用在特殊仪式上。
Today's feature.
6人行特别节目拍完了。Friends Special finished filming. A long-awaited television program is coming soon. The Friends Reunion Special has now completed filming. The 6 stars from the original show all got together to record the special. It was shot on the same stage as the show was back in the day. 被延后1年多，6人行特别节目终于拍完了。The special did have a live audience, but it wasn't made up of members of the public. There were studio extras in the seats instead because of coronavirus restrictions. The iconic fountain where the show's intro was shot was also used for filming. The special is set to air on the HBO Max streaming platform. However, no specific release date has been announced yet. 特别节目将在 HBO Max 平台串流，但目前不知道什么时候上映。
The recap.
So, in today's News Bites, China Airlines flew thousands of bees from Sydney, Australia, to Vancouver, British Columbia.
The airline had to keep the temperature on the flight between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius to keep the bees calm and resting.
The bees have a special job once they get to Canada to help pollinate fruit trees.
Scientists have found what they think is the oldest wind instrument, 管乐器, in the world. The instrument is made of a conch shell, 海螺壳.
They believe the shell might have helped those ancient people communicate, maybe with people far away.
And the Friends Reunion Special has now completed filming.
The 6 stars from the original show all got together to record the special.
The special is set to air on the HBO Max streaming platform.
And that's today's episode of News Bites.
This week, we want you to have your say about being brave. Often when we face a difficult situation, we have to be brave. Being brave means having courage and not showing you are scared. People who work with big animals like lions and tigers are said to be brave because these animals are dangerous. But you can even be brave when you do something like go to the dentist. Tell us about a time when you were brave. Record your message and send it to newsbites@icrt.com.tw with your name and age, and if you like, the name of your school. Make sure to send us your recording by Thursday at noon, and you might hear your message on our show on Friday.
ICRT 与教育部国民及学前教育署下次继续和您聊新闻。ICRT App 和网站也能重复收听。
More local and international news next time on News Bites. Brought to you by K-12 Education Administration. Find past episodes available on the ICRT website and app.